Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. This show is all about life transformations and our journey from where we were to why we are doing what we are doing today. We will discuss the hiccups, the roller coasters, and the blood, sweat, and tears that has been poured out while discovering our purpose. It is all about our transformation. Here is your host, Sean Douglas.
We are live here on Life Transformation Radio. I am your host, Master Resilience Implementer, inspirational speaker, and author, Sean Douglas. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of our listeners who are listening from wherever you are. This show is heard in 26 countries, and I am blown away at the support that has been coming in over the past couple weeks as the show gets larger and reaches a more wide audience. So everybody from overseas and the United States, thank you so much for listening. And Life Transformation Radio is all about our transformation. Here we tell the stories of why we are doing what we're doing and how we're helping others transform. Listen to us every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time and on the first and third Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. On the show are impactful and amazing guests that are impacting everyone around them. If you have any questions for any of our guests, if you're catching us on a live show, you can call in at 657-383-1109. Again, the number is 657-383-1109. And my guest today is no different. Welcome to the show, Wallace Bailey. What is up, buddy?
How are you, Sean? Thanks so much. I'm so excited to be on the show.
Dude, I am pumped for you to be here, man. We've connected a lot through speaking and through the Facebook group that we're in, and I was super pumped, man, to have you on the show.
I'm really looking forward to sharing a lot of stuff, and let's get to it.
Heck yeah, man. So today, Wallace Bailey is going to talk about Unleash the Leader Within. He runs a successful Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy in Florida where he infuses personal development into martial arts training for his students. He trains with 8-time world champion and IBJJF Hall of Fame inductee Robson Mora. Wallace has medaled at the Florida State Championships and has trained multiple MMA and Muay Thai kickboxing fighters. After working for 25 years as a heavy equipment operator, foreman, and project manager, Wallace realized that there was way more to life than playing it safe and living life below one's potential. He started training and eventually teaching martial arts to inspire people struggling with low self-esteem to become influential leaders. Wallace's passion for protecting and inspiring others crosses over into his work in a specialized unit of environment law enforcement officer protecting the environment for the future. His work has been recognized by government agencies and covered by multiple news outlets in Florida. He has spoken to thousands of middle, high school, and college students and is an award-winning speaker. He is the author of Beyond Yesterday and his newest book, Unleash the Leader Within, Achieve Your True Potential, and it has inspired his signature talk. You can learn more at www.coachwallace.com. So, dude, you were literally kicking ass, dude.
Hey, you got to get out there and you have to play big. For so many years, I just played small. As a kid, I had gut-wrenching anxiety. Not the butterflies in your stomach kind of thing, but I'm going to pass out kind of anxiety. And it took me, I was missing out on so much. It finally hit me. I realized I have to do something about this. I see everybody else having so much fun and doing things, and why not me? Why not me? That's what I kept saying to myself. So it all really triggered a thought process of, how can I do this? How can I break through? How can I overcome this fear, all this anxiety that I'm having. And through research and listening to tapes, back in the day, we listened to tapes. You put the cassette tape in a car, and that's how we did it. And I would listen to motivational speakers, and I really feel that is what brought me to just one sentence that really transformed my way of thinking. It was just one sentence. And I share that in my new book. I want to get it out there so everybody can overcome anxiety and achieve their true potential.
Heck yeah, man. So the first question we always ask on the show, and you've listened to a lot of shows, so you know what's coming, is why, right? So why do we do what we do? I mean, that's got to be the number one question that we have to ask ourselves every day. Why? So I'm asking you, why do you do what you do?
I have found something that worked for me, something that was able to transform me from a shy little boy into someone that can, run a business and influence and impact others' lives in an amazing way. And I just want to share it with everybody that I can. There's awesome. There's one quote that I learned a long time ago, and I live by it every day. And I'm sure you heard it, and it goes like this: you can have everything in life you ever wanted if you will just help enough other people get what they want.
Zig Ziglar.
Okay, the infamous Zig Ziglar said that, and that has stuck with me. And Sean, that's my motto. That's what I live by. And it is not come from a selfish place. I've never been selfish. It comes from a place of service. And I just want to help people and impact them in a way that they can play big instead of playing so small like I did for so many years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. So can you go back and pinpoint exactly when that transformation happened? Like, was it something that you said, you know what, I'm sick of this and I'm tired of playing small, I need to play bigger, right? So was there a moment in time that started your transformation, or is it just kind of a gradual thing that you've just been on this journey of improving?
That's a great question, and I knew that was probably coming, and, I can't pinpoint it exactly, but there have been several moments throughout my life that I just got fed up with the status quo, with once again playing it small. I've operated heavy equipment my whole life. My dad owned a construction company, so at the age of 9 years old, I was on heavy equipment with him, and then operating them myself, and just figuring out how they worked. And when I got old enough to actually, when I was like 16, I started with another company. My dad said, you need to go with another company and see how other companies work. So I went out with those other companies, and I was hired on as an equipment operator right away. They're like, yeah, you're pretty good. Get on that loader and start moving that dirt. And I just kept learning the whole time that I was operating the equipment. What does this guy do? What does this guy do? What is our goal? What are we moving forward to? And over the years, in about 2 years, I realized I could do that job. And you know what? I could probably be a foreman. I could run my own crew. But there was one thing stopping me. I was too afraid to ask. I was bashful. I was shy. And I would get up the nerve and then walk up to the boss and say, hey, how you doing? Yeah, it's hot out, isn't it? Okay, have a good day. And I was chicken out. You know, and one day I was up all night, and I'm like, okay, tomorrow's the day, and I got to work and hadn't slept at all. I got there and I went right into the boss's office and I said, hey, you know what? I think that I can run my own crew and I would like for you to give me a shot. And he said, yeah, you know what? I've been thinking the same thing. I've just been waiting for you to come ask.
Oh, wow.
So there's no telling, you know, how long. If I'd have never went in and asked for that position, I would have never had that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of my fear of rejection, my fear that I wouldn't be adequate, or just my anxiety getting the best of me. So I could still be operating equipment today, and instead of actually running companies and being the project manager. Of course, I've since moved on to there because I've followed my passion more. I've asked for things.
Right.
I've gotten out there. I would never in a million years thought that I would have a successful martial arts academy. Never in a million years, but I got out there and I was determined and I had a burning desire. What is that? Think and Grow Rich? That's what I got from that book.
Yep.
Burning desire. And I went with it. I didn't have any money, and I made it happen.
Yeah. Well, so where exactly in Florida is it?
We are in DeLand, Florida. It's approximately 15 miles west of Daytona Beach.
Oh, wow. Okay. Perfect. So looking back.
I patrol.
Right? Well, go ahead.
I actually patrol a lot of Daytona Beach during the day as an environmental law enforcement officer. We investigate illegal dumping, and we've had several big cases here lately.
Okay. So you have so your academy is kind of like your passive income, right?
Well, absolutely, but I also change lives.
Sure. No. Sure. I'm just thinking of as standard like income because you have a day job, right? But then you also manage this other academy. So really, it's kind of like that passive income element.
Well, sure.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. I thought you were just strictly day-to-day at the academy.
No. I do.
That's awesome.
I do. During the day, I have one uniform, and at night, I change into another uniform.
Right.
Kind of that superhero thing going on.
Yeah. No, I dig it. So looking back at, of everything that you've accomplished, and who were you before? I mean, you said, about the anxiety and about the, burning desires, and right. But really, like, who was Wallace during the equipment operator days before the academy? Like typically day to day, what kind of person were you?
I was just a normal introvert. I kept to myself. Okay. I've always been really creative, so that really helped. It helped pass the time because I didn't have a lot of friends. Mm-hmm. Just hanging out in large groups was not something that I looked forward to. As a kid, I grew up on 5 acres, and that was my playground. I would play in the woods and just have fun by myself. Honestly, there wasn't a kid for miles. I lived in the middle of nowhere, so that didn't help things much. All
right. So since you got done with the equipment operator, and you started running your own crews, and then developed the academy, and then you developed speaking and all that, and so what was the best part about your journey so far? What has been the most amazing thing that's happened?
The most amazing thing that has happened is to see the impact that I have on people's lives. To see, especially at my academy, to see kids come in, and I can see they look exactly like I looked when I was their age. And then working with them and seeing them come in week after week and then month after month, seeing them develop the confidence that they have, seeing that come alive. They have it inside of them, but they're just like me when I was a kid. I just didn't want to show my emotions, and to see them come alive with confidence and start talking to people more, that has just been amazing to me. Even adults, it's the same kind of thing. Through martial arts, I'm able to really change people's lives, and that really makes me feel good. That's amazing to me.
So earlier in my life, around 2007, 2008, I was going through some real hard times, and some guys were doing some jiu-jitsu, and I kind of got involved with it, and I really loved UFC, so I started fighting a little bit, started doing a couple things, and then really in 2009, 2010, really started getting into MMA when I moved into San Antonio in Texas. Can you speak to how important it is? Because there's a lot of discipline that goes into – it's not just jiu-jitsu and we're rolling around on the ground trying to tackle each other, whatever. Like it's an art, right? I mean, it is a complete art form, and there's a lot of discipline that goes involved. Can you speak to how important it is to develop that discipline inside of martial arts, but really translate it to the outside of that into your personal life?
Oh, it is. Absolutely. It's really this thing in of itself. I can't speak for other martial arts. I don't train anything other than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but the art itself, it takes you from who you are, who you think you are, to who you really can be. When you're grappling and you get put in a position like somebody's on top of you and you're on the bottom, you have a couple options. You can panic, or you can relax and trust in your training. And when you trust in your training and you use the proper technique, you can defend yourself. Maybe you can't get out, but you can defend yourself. And with the more training that you have, the more training, the better you are to get out of really, really bad positions. And that translates right into life. When I'm at work during my day job, and people, I knock on doors. I have to knock on doors and give them bad news that, hey, I found your stuff illegally dumped in the woods. They're not happy. They're really not happy. And they come out, and yes, there's words said and this and that, but I don't think about jiu-jitsu at that moment, but my jiu-jitsu translates right into my everyday life. I breathe. I've learned to breathe. I'm okay. I relax. And when another person sees you relaxing and breathing, they start to calm down. So, and in a lot of situations, the martial arts, any martial art that you train in, like you explained, it's the discipline. You discipline yourself, and that translates right into every single second of your day outside of the academy.
Wow. Okay, so on the flip side, we talk about the best part, right? There's always two sides to every story, and I got a lot of two-part questions, right? So on the flip side of the best, what's the worst part, or what has been the worst part or the worst moment of your transformation?
Wow, I have been absolutely broke. I've been absolutely broke and didn't know where I was going to get money or anything. It all boils down to getting out there and taking action and doing something. At my worst point, it was kind of like right in the middle of that transformation. I was gaining speed, I was gaining momentum, and then I hit a brick wall. And at my lowest point, I had no idea what I was doing or where I was going, what I wanted to do, what I even wanted to do for the rest of my life. And it took a while to deal with all that, my emotions, and I think I don't know, but I think I'm an extroverted introvert now, if that's a thing.
Okay.
But I keep all my emotions inside, so I didn't know how to express what I was doing. But it took a while. But that really low point in my life, probably I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Honestly, it helped me. It helped me to realize, okay, this is everything that I've done, and this is what has gotten me, and there's got to be something better. Let's go after that. So I climbed my way back out and started working hard and made it through it. I made it through perseverance.
Awesome. Perfect. So I'm so interested to know who's been your biggest influencer.
My biggest influencer probably has to be that man I talked about earlier, Zig Ziglar. It's amazing. It's amazing to listen to him and his philosophies, and I've implemented so many things that he had taught, and it's influenced me in a way that's really impacted my success, because I use those philosophies and those strategies that he taught so well,
right,
to move forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I follow Tom Ziegler. I'm on the email list. I watch the Zig Ziglar videos. At some point here in the next couple of years, I'd love to go down to Dallas and become a Ziegler legacy speaker. I think that would be super cool, and hang out with Howard Partridge and Tom Ziegler and all those guys. I had Tom Ziegler on my show. One of my first couple episodes, I had Tom Ziegler on the show. And
I loved that show, Sean. That was great. I was sad when it ended. I wish it would kept on going, but I understand.
He's got so much information, right? I mean, the guy is just packed full, and the stories that he tells about his dad is just, it's amazing. And
yeah,
so
those are great.
I definitely identify.
When you go down to Dallas, you let me know, and I'll go with you.
Heck yeah, man! We'll do it together. We'll go be speakers together.
Cool.
Perfect. So speaking of that would be an awesome segue. Since we're going to support each other, who's been your biggest supporters?
My biggest supporter has been, of course, my mom. Through thick and thin, she's believed in me and stuck by me and pushed me to be the person I am today. And I have to say my wife as well. My wife is...
I think you kind of have to.
She's my perfect companion. She supports me and points me in the right direction. When I don't do something right, she lets me know. And, she's the reason I look so good. She makes sure that I'm dressed well. And I have to say my mom and my wife, Leanne.
Perfect. Yeah, my pastor always says that behind every good man is a better woman.
That's exactly right. That is a true statement.
Right. So, looking back, did you think that you would be doing all of this stuff in martial arts and jiu-jitsu and becoming a high school and college market speaker and accomplishing and inspiring everything that you've done? Did you think that was even possible?
It was not possible. It was nothing anywhere near possible. There's no way in a million years that I thought that I would be where I am today.
Why is that? Is that a mindset that you grew up with, or is it a mindset because I get into these well, I used to anyways. I get into these moments, I'm like, man, my life sucks. And because what you focus on expands, right? What you focus on illuminates. It's called a spotlight effect. So if we spotlight every hard moment or every bad thing that's going on in our life, then we never see any good. And I teach a skill called hunt the good stuff or count blessings, and I believe that when you can do that, when you can count blessings, it is just super powerful, to combat that negativity. And so what makes a person go into that mindset where like nothing good is possible for me? I suck at everything, or whatever they're thinking.
Well, you hit the nail on the head when you said what we focus on, that's our reality. Whatever we focus on. If we focus on the negative things, then that's what we're going to get, negative things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a repetitive cycle. It just goes on and on and on and on. And when I was a kid, that's what I thought about. But when I needed to speak with someone, I would think negative thoughts. I would focus on everything bad that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. There would be a million bad things that could happen, but I never thought once about, well, what's one good thing? Like you said, being grateful. Being grateful to even be able to speak to a person. It was mind-numbingly just terrible that I focused on everything bad that would happen. And through that transformation, I realized, like the story earlier, I finally went into the boss's office and I said, hey, I can do that. Give me a shot. And he's like, well, basically, I was waiting for you to come ask me.
You're right. I love it. Nah, what a great answer, dude. I love it. Awesome. Okay, so I want to know, how did you transition from, working at the heavy equipment and going into the EPA or whatever the environmental law enforcement, right? Environmental law enforcement, and having the academy, and you're a speaker. So how did all that? I feel like I'm talking to myself, right? Because I'm in the military. I'm a speaker. I have a show. I have a business that I'm running for a couple of different things. I got all this other stuff that I want to do. I'm an author. Like I feel like we're cut from the same cloth, man. We can't just have one thing, So how did all that begin?
I know. People ask me, how do you find the time to do everything you do? And I say to them, we all have the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Right? What are you passionate about?
Yeah.
My professor Hobson Morris says, oh my gosh, I hope I get this right. If you want to do something, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse.
Oh yeah.
Right. We have everybody has the same amount of time during the day, but you just got to find a way. I found this passion. To answer your question, it was a book that I read, Think and Grow Rich. And of course, a lot of people listening to the show, I'm sure, have read that. And if they haven't read it, you should read that, Think and Grow Rich. And it just ignited this passion in me that there's so much that I can do. Why don't I do it? And the answer to my question was, there's no reason why you shouldn't do it. So I did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was a semi-pro hockey player for a little bit. I grew up playing hockey on the sidewalks and streets, and anyway, so in Michigan, they have a couple lower leagues, and so you join one of those kind of like the farm teams, like the little, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like, it's not even AAA. It's like single A baseball, but it's like the lowest, local, hockey team, whatever. So I played on there for about a year and a half, about a season and a half, I guess. Season and a half. And my favorite player has always been Wayne Gretzky. And Wayne Gretzky has one of the most famous quotes in hockey or in sports that somebody could ever say. And he said, you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. And I live that. At least I try to. I live that moment of him saying, you're going to miss 100% of the shots if you don't take it. So every time I'm like, oh, man, I don't know if I could speak at that college, or I don't know, should I apply for this? I don't know, because I've been denied 6 times from TED Talk. I'm like, man, I really want to speak at a TEDx event. Like, that'd be super awesome. It's my dream. Maybe I'm not good enough, I was like, nope, got to apply one more time. Got to apply one more time. Got to do it one more time. Just one more time. Just one more time, because if I don't, I'm never going to do it. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
That's an absolutely true statement. Like when I was a kid, I missed every shot because I didn't even take it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you almost missed your shot with the boss.
You got to get out there. One day you're going to be on a TEDx stage, and it's going to be amazing, and you're going to knock it out of the park because that's what you do. Yeah, absolutely. You got to. Our friend Arel Moody, a great speaker, he says, what is it? The no's. Something about the no's. You'll get more no's than yeses, but the no's are what count. Because the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. I mean, don't take it personally.
Every no is one step closer to a yes. Yep.
There you go. You just keep going.
Keep doing
it. Keep going.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
it gets aggravating, and you feel like giving up. And most people do. They just give up, and then they wonder why they never succeeded.
Right.
So
yeah. No. Absolutely.
You gotta keep pushing.
Yep. Life Transformation Radio listeners, if you want to call in, talk to Wallace or myself, the number is 657-383-1109. Again, number is 657-383-1109. We are talking to Wallace Bailey. He's a coach, jiu-jitsu, martial artist, speaker, author. The guy friggin' rocks. So let's talk about that for a second. New adventures, businesses, family, like what do you got going on, man? I know you got the book. Talk to me about the book, Unleash the Leader Within.
Wow. I'm just amazed with the people that have written me and sent me messages on social media about my new book. It's just amazing, and a heartfelt thanks to everyone that have sent those messages. Unleash the Leader Within is filled with stories from my life, like learning lessons that I've learned, and interesting stories. And at the end of every chapter, I pose a question, and I give a whole page so you can answer that question right there. And of course, you can always make your own notes. But it's filled with great stories from my life that I've learned a lot from. And of course, it also has that one sentence that I talked about earlier in the show, the one sentence that really helped me transform from what I was to where I am now and where I'm going. And it's a template. You could use it as a template.
Yeah.
You could use it any situation. It's a fill in the blank template. And that's what I did. I just filled in the blank for whatever situation it was.
Perfect. I like it. And you sent me the PDF, and I've been reading it, and I finish it up, man, and dude, I got a lot out of it. I'm like, wow, it's almost like a self-assessment of yourself. Like, what would I do in that situation? Or would I have done the same thing? Or how do I, and it's not about judging, because I wrote a book similar to where I wrote about my childhood experiences and what I've learned and how I'm applying that to my life. And so I'm kind of like the same way, man. I think things the same way that you do in a lot of respects. But it's about how can I take this moment, like what's great about this moment, right? You go through this hard time. What's great about this moment? what is the significance of this moment? What's the good that is happening in this moment? And then you run with that, develop that attitude of gratitude, and then you bounce back pretty quickly. Seems like what you've done.
I love being grateful. In any situation, you can find the good. Just like you said, whatever you focus on, you just have to train your brain a little bit different and say, stop looking at everything so negative. When you make that slight shift, and you said, this was a bad situation, but you know what? I can help somebody because of this. Or somebody was mean to me, but I didn't get mean back. Mm-hmm. Maybe they were just having a bad day. So finding the silver lining or the good in any situation, look for it. Don't focus on all that negative stuff.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. So what else you got going on? How would someone find your academy if they wanted to join, or what kind of programs do you offer there at your academy?
Yeah, we offer kids and adult Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes, and we are located in DeLand, Florida. If anybody would want to stop by, you're welcome to. You can also find us online at GatorFamilyBJJ.com.
Perfect. Love it. So, Wallace, if you had to go back, would you change anything? Would you do anything different?
I would not change one single thing. I'm
the
so
same
grateful.
Way. I would not change a thing.
I'm grateful and appreciative for all of the lessons that I've learned. They say most people that win the lottery, right, are broke within 5 years or something.
Yep.
And that's because they didn't work for that money. Yep. I strongly believe they didn't work for it. But you just have to keep going. Just keep going and moving forward. You have to go through whatever it is that you're going through, and there's a reason you're going through it, right? You're learning a lesson. And if you learn from that lesson, right, and don't do the things wrong that you did in the past, you've done good. Yeah, it might seem horrible, it might seem terrible at the time you're going through something. Focus on that silver lining, learn everything you can while you're moving through that situation, and you'll come out even better on the other side. I promise.
Love it. I'm a big proponent of you, whatever you're going through, you experience things for a reason, and whatever you're going through is preparing you for where you're going to. And it was so true when I started into the speaking, because I had a testimony that I thought was insignificant. I'd gone through this horrible tragedy and suicidal stuff, and I was like, man, this is my lot in life. I'm never going to amount to anything good. Nothing ever good is going to happen to me. And I felt like all of this bad stuff would ever happen. I get a flat tire. I was low on gas. I was low on money. I was, it was like all this bad stuff, but I never saw anything good. Never saw anything good. I was like, my life just sucks.
Sure.
I'm living in a mediocre house, and a mediocre job, and a mediocre this, and a mediocre that's what I focused on. And I never saw any blessings until I took a step back. And like Arel says, right? What is your 10,000-foot view? And I really started doing that.
Right.
Let me look at my life, man. Let me audit what I'm doing. And I was hanging out with this disastrous person, who would make me do, not really make me, but there was decisions that I was making that were wrong, but he influenced them. I was in a real toxic relationship. Oh, by the way, I was drinking every day. So there was so many things that I thought was like, oh my God, all this world is happening to me, but it was the things that I was doing and the decisions that I was making. And when I made better decisions and I asked the better questions, better things happened to me. And, I'm in a mastermind group where what we say is you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around the most. So who are those 5 people that you're hanging around? If you're hanging around, low life people, if you're hanging around, unsuccessful people, then guess what? you're going to be unsuccessful, you know? So
exactly.
you really, your network is your net worth, and your net worth equals your network. You know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't until I mastered these principles that I started to say, you know what? Like, I'm destined for more. I'm destined for greatness. And then I started getting into the MMA, and and then I found out that it hurts really bad when you get kicked in the face. So I was like, okay.
But you learned a valuable lesson.
Life hits you hard.
Sure.
So I'm curious how you got into speaking.
Great.
Like, did the jiu-jitsu, like, what prompted you to become a speaker?
I have a message that I want to share tremendously to overcome anxiety and become. I don't consider myself a leader, but there are a lot of people that look up to me. So I guess that makes me a leader, and I want to help people achieve the same thing, and everybody can do it. It what we've been talking about. It's who you hang out with. It's who influences you. You have to start focusing on what you're good at and what you're bad at. Start working on the things that, maybe you're not a good speaker. Well, start hanging around speakers.
Right?
Get better at it. Learn everything you can. Hire a coach. One of the things that's helped me so much, I'm a coach. I hired a coach. I hired somebody
I didn't even know
already
that.
where I want to be.
I had no idea.
Absolutely.
Like, I thought that was like, oh, man, he's at the top. What did he need a coach for? No, the dude's still got a coach. And then once you get to another level, then you find another coach and another coach. And, like, every level has a set of coaches at that level, And I found out even Tony Robbins has a coach. Tony Robbins has a publicity guy. He has a marketing guy. He's got people coaching him, I thought, I was like, oh, Tony Robbins, he is the coach. No, he still has coaches. I didn't even realize. It was fascinating to me.
Yeah. Sean, forever I have tried to reinvent the wheel, and it drives me nuts. It just drives me crazy. The wheel is perfect. It's round. It rolls. How can you make it better? And I try to make everything better. And my coach says, what are you doing? Did you send the email that I told you to send? Yeah, I did. I just kind of changed a few things. What'd you change? It's a great email. Quit trying to reinvent the wheel. Send the email I told you to send. And I send the email that they told me to send. Guess what? The people start emailing me back. Yes, we'd love to meet with you. When can we talk on the phone? I'm like, wow, that worked. All I had to do was what they told me to do.
Yep. Yeah. So, what was the best resource that you found during your journey with no one's help? It was something that maybe you stumbled on, or something that you use all the time, but it was just something that you discovered on your own.
I discovered that I can do what I put my mind to, and that my determination was responsible for any success that I would eventually achieve. Determination.
I like that.
I was determined to be the best version of myself, to achieve my true potential, and I'm still working on it. And I probably will be for 50 more years. But I am determined that nothing is going to stop me. I'm determined to be the best version of myself. Nobody's perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. But it's all in that pursuit. It's all in the journey. It's not the goal. It's about how you get there. Determination will make that happen.
Mm-hmm. So, what was a resource that somebody suggested to you, or somebody gave to you, that really elevated you and your life?
Somebody told me I should hire a coach.
I think mentor is like the number one thing, right? Like, everybody says it. Says it. Hire a mentor.
I told him what? I don't need to do that. I can figure it out on my own.
I'll figure it out. It costs too much money.
Too much money, No. But that's what I learned. You know, you got to hire a coach.
Here's a funny
where
thing
you
that
already want to be.
Yeah, here's a funny thing that I tell some people sometimes, like, because someone will say, hey man, can you teach me how to speak, or hey, maybe where do I find things at, or how do I, whatever. And then I always give value. I'm like, oh yeah, just do this, 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 and this. They're like, oh cool, and they're like, it didn't work. I'm like, okay, well, you probably didn't do it right. So what did you do? Like, nope, not doing it right. Like we always talk about. And it was like, tell you what, man, if you really want to get down and dirty, right, for 6 weeks of coaching, I'll coach you for $247. $247, 6 weeks of coaching. I will mentor you for every day of those 6 weeks, man. We'll 10x your life. He's like, oh, that sounds expensive. That's. I was like, okay, you pay me $247, and I give you, let's say, $10,000. Would you do that bet? He's like, heck yeah. I'm like, well, that's what I'm giving you. They're like, I don't know. My first coach, I said the same thing. I was like, man, I don't know. My first coach, here's what he tells me. Successful people don't say I can't do it. They say, how can I do it? I'm like, oh, whatever. How can I get the money? Got it. So I struggled for a little while. Then I paid the money, and then he showed me how to do it. And I sat back, and I was like, dang it. This is so much easier. Crap. So now people say, oh, it's too much money, whatever. I was like, look, successful people don't say. I use the same thing. And people are like, oh, well, I get that. I mean, I understand that. I'm like, dude, trust me. Because I look at it like literally, I'll look at something, I want that. Oh, but I can't afford it, so never mind. No. If I want it, I'm like, dude, what can I do to do this? I challenged myself, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? I challenged myself to earn $1,000 in 24 hours. I came up a few hundred short, but I said, you know what? I want $1,000. I'm going to do something to make $1,000 in 24 hours. I came up a little short, but I proved it can be done. If you hustle hard, it can be done. And so it just proves that successful people don't say, oh, I can't afford that, and they stop. They say, how can I afford it? And then they go out and they frickin' get it.
Determination, man, takes you a long way.
Yep.
You find a way, or you find an excuse. And that's the difference between successful people and people that are still saying, well, one day.
Mm-hmm.
You can find a way, or you can find an excuse.
I just don't think I'm a good coach because people get mad at me. Like I'm kind of mean or I'm rude or whatever. I was like, bro, I told one guy, I was like, well, can you do this? Or, write down your values. He didn't know, he didn't have any direction. So when I start my coaching, I say, okay, what is the direction that you want to go in? Oh, what are your top 5 values? Let's start there. What are your top 5 values? Is it honesty, love, relationships, whatever? Okay, let's wrap a goal right around that value. Cool, got it. Well, then he starts giving me excuses, whatever. And it's going on for like a week. I was like, dude, look, I'm not going to waste my time, if you're just going to make excuses. Like, I don't have time for excuses. And he's like, well, maybe I'm just not coachable, whatever. I'm like, look, bro, I don't day trade excuses. I day trade results, all right? If you want to get results, shut up and color and do it. If not, then we're done working. He's like, all right, well, I think we're done. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. And I was on the phone. I'm like, see ya. Like, I can't, like, if you're not going to help yourself, bro, like, I'm not going to waste my time. Like, I can, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't lead him, you can't make him drink or whatever. Like, I was shoving his head in the trough. Like I was like, do it, but he had that mindset that, he just can't do it. So he's always going to have that mindset. Doesn't matter who he works with. So cut the ties and I moved on. But yeah, I don't day trade excuses. I just don't.
You got it. Yeah. It's all about effort. Mm-hmm. It's all in the effort. People think, well, okay, I give you $247 and you're going to do everything for me and then I'll be rich. That's not the way it works. You gotta do the work, put in the effort, do the time, and guess what? Then you're gonna do some more. Guess what? Then you're gonna have to do some more, and you're gonna have to keep doing that. You're gonna have to keep putting that effort in. That, like successful people, a lot of people think, yeah, they worked a little bit and now they're rich and they're enjoying it. No, they keep going. They have to keep putting that effort in there every single day. Of course, people hire people. They hire people to be their accountant, but you still have to follow up with that accountant to manage your business. It's not like it just runs automatically for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep putting forth that effort every single day. Successful people don't just take a magic pill or, pay $247 and everything's, rainbows and unicorns. That's not the way it works. Keeping everything successful, it takes effort every single day. Of course, you can hire people to do stuff, but what I've learned is do your passion, follow your passion, and then what from a business standpoint, what makes you the most money? Does sending emails make you the most money? Sean, when you do a speaking engagement, what makes you the most money?
Delivering the most amount of value I can.
Standing on stage, giving a presentation makes you the most money, right?
Yep. Delivering the most amount of value.
So you're over here like calling people and emailing and this, and of course, I still do it. I still do it myself. I like making phone calls. I like sending the emails. I like everything. But there comes a point where you've got so many speaking engagements that it's just too much. So you have to delegate some of that authority. But you're not giving it up. You're just delegating it. But you're still putting in the effort. You still have to follow up with your assistant. Hey, what's on my schedule next week?
Yep.
Or, it just still takes effort.
Yeah, I enjoy the hustle though. Like, I enjoy Googling. Like when Arel comes out with a new, hey, if you Google this, and this, all these speaking engagements come up. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna try that. And then they come up, and you're like, no freaking way. And then you're like so excited, like you're opening your Christmas presents. You know what I mean? You're like, yes, oh yeah,
Absolutely.
that one works too. And like you're getting super pumped, right? Like I don't want anyone to steal that joy away from me. So I love that part. But there's also other things where I'm like, hey, book my travel for me. Like pick a hotel. Let me know, what the hotel is. I'll tell you yes or no. Like there's some things that I just don't want to do. But there's other things that I'm like, I'm gonna Google it. I'll talk to the event organizer. Like that's I love the hustle and the grind, man. I love it.
I like being a part of it and learning.
Yeah.
I like the learning part of it. Going through the process. Like my coach says, give somebody a job that you don't know how to do. Know how to do whatever it is that you need done before you hand it to somebody, because how do you know if the person you gave it to is doing it right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big part of the process, learning how to do everything, whatever your business may be.
Yep, absolutely. So this is the moment of the show where it's the shameless plug. You can plug a friend, quote, websites, Facebook, products, your favorite movie, whatever it is, your academy, the books, whatever. This is your time to shine. I mean, you've been shining all episode, but this is your time to shine. Shameless plug.
Awesome.
Go.
I want to give a shout out to the amazing Sean Douglas and his amazing live show. I can't believe that I'm on it with so many great people. Thank you so very much, Sean. I appreciate it. And if anyone would like to get their hands on a copy of Unleash the Leader Within or talk about a speaking event, please contact me at CoachWallace.com.
Boom. I love it. Thanks for the shout out, man. It makes you feel good. So,
you're awesome,
as we wrap up,
you need it.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. It makes you feel nice, I guess.
Cool.
It's so easy to compliment other people, but how crazy that we don't compliment ourselves sometimes. We beat ourselves up a lot. Like, oh, I failed at this, and oh, I suck at this, and somebody else gives us a compliment. We just instantly like, oh well, whatever. Like I notice that about myself sometimes. I do a couple mindfulness techniques, and affirmations, man, they work. They absolutely work because we need to give ourselves love,
Absolutely. Every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So as we wrap up, can you deliver your best nugget of knowledge that will motivate, transcend, and inspire someone?
Oh, wow. There are moments that have dramatic impacts on our lives. It's not necessarily the words that are said, but the way those words make us feel that make that impact
I like it. Dude, you're like the freaking little wisdom Yoda, man. Like, there's so many, like, I'm just thinking back to so many, like, dude, there's so many moments in my life that are like defining moments, you know, and a decision was made to either do this or do this other thing. And I made that conscious decision and my life went in a route that I never knew would be possible. You know, it's those moments that I look back on, like, what if I made a different decision? You know, how different would my life be?
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, give us a call to action. What should someone do today? You know, you said buy your books and products or something, but should they set a goal or plans that what would be your call to action?
Make a plan today and follow through. Be determined and follow through no matter what. Make a plan today to make yourself better tomorrow and follow through. Just be determined. No matter what, make it happen.
There you go. I love it. Absolutely. Dude, it has been a pleasure having you on the show, and I am super pumped that we can make this happen.
Absolutely, Sean. Thanks so much, and I look forward to heading to Dallas with you real soon.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Thanks for coming, brother.
Hey, thank you so much.
Life Transformation Radio listeners, this has been another impactful episode with impactful guests. Join us every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and then on the first and the third Fridays at the same time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. As we close, I'll leave you with this. Live your brand. Find opportunities every day to live out the values that you hold deep in your heart. It's not about the shoes that you wear and the clothes. It's about the people you hang around, and it's about the moments that you can create in everyone's life and elevate everyone's life around you. And I call that living your brand. So join us next time on Life Transformation Radio. Have a good night.